This is Devious Dave Rose, professional pariah and all around asshole. And you are tuned in to the greatest, defending, undisputed video game collector on the planet. Casey is Raw.
What up, guys? My name is Casey as well. Welcome to this special live stream. I would like to talk about my reaction about an opinion about the PlayStation 5 Pro. I thought this thing, when I was seeing pictures of the PlayStation 5 Pro, I thought it was a joke. You know how sometimes you'll get some of those consoles, like someone would make a what they think the console is going to look like in the future. So, and I was kind of seeing like glimpses of it. So I was like, let me try to bring this up. I should have just put this on here, but let me share a screen real quick. There we go. What's messed? There it is. I thought when I saw that, I was like, I thought it looked like a freaking joke. I thought it was like, no way. It's like someone did a minimal job for it. So I was like, oh no, it can't be that. So I really thought that was fake. So then I went on YouTube and people were talking about it. I was like, nope, it was real. So let's go to Sony themselves over here. Let me switch over, and here we go. They had the same, like almost the same intro when they did the PS5, original PS5. They made sure they made sure you get to see those fish. Super resolution. Oh, I'll tell you one thing. On my end, it's not doing good with the resolution on my side. It's slow. Ray tracing, like no one really cares about all that stuff. I mean, and here's the kicker: if you look at the console itself, I believe they did this intentionally to have that look. Uh, they they're selling you the digital version right here. So because you would see it would bump out for the disk drive. Now, um, this is just the short trailer they had right here. Oh, by the way, I believe you had to buy that stand too, right there. So that's even stupider. So that's one thing right there. That's like right there wouldn't be that bad. Hold on, fix something real quick. I know I'm not being that professional right now. I think this looks better, but let's see. Let me bring up what PlayStation also dropped here earlier. I mean, yesterday. It's probably under their live stream. Sorry, just give me a second. Let's see, there's Sony's. Here it is. This is when they're promoting the PlayStation 5. So here we go. Give me 2 seconds. There we go.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup,
Dude, he looks
PlayStation
like
5
Garth
Pro,
from
and how it
Angel.
advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience.
So they're going to talk about how good the PS5 by itself is. You figure, hey, if you're, why start promoting the base PS5 when you're trying to sell the PS5 Pro? Like, I don't know why they would do that.
When PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2
No,
CPU
actually,
cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay with character counts reaching into the hundreds and frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing.
What's up, Towers? How's it going, man? Just showing off the shit show from Sony.
Allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global illumination. A custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
You know, they're saying a bunch of good stuff right now, so why would you want to go move on to the PS5 Pro if all that's good stuff, right? So, um, even if you look at the graphics, it's amazing. Like, even when I'm playing the new Astrobot, it's nice. So, I don't know why we had to have the PS5 Pro.
You okay? I'm working on it.
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled
3D
sense of
audio?
immersion to
What
the
the
sound
hell
of
is
the games.
3D audio?
With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies
It's
to know
so
exactly
real.
where
It's
they are.
3D.
Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game. It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance. The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players.
Yeah, no shit.
Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second, mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved. When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of frames per second.
Let's go back a little bit. Can you guys honestly tell the difference right now between one and the other? Like, I cannot tell the difference. Like, honestly, I have a 1080p flat screen, and I got at least a 4K um, laptop, and I cannot tell the difference from this one and this one. Like, like the like maybe that's a little blurry right there. Okay, but to me, it's like, and this could be exaggerating right here. So this could be false. If you ask me, this could be false advertising. Again, could you tell one from the other? I sure hell can't. Like, everything in that background looks clear. Everything in this section is clear. So even right here, those things are clear. So, like, oh my god, this one's 1080p and this one's 4K. Like, okay, like I'm not gonna see the difference on my, like I said, my 1080p TV. And I really don't need, oh, I need 4K or 8K.
mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved.
Oh, let's go back even a hair back.
The graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved.
Again, can you tell one and the other? I'm like, they look close to me.
When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big Three. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster. Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail.
Does this mean anything to you guys? To me, this means jack shit, if you ask me.
Which
Oh
boosts
my
the
god,
effective resolution of the games.
it makes it
Game
really
creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the Big Three involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super
Oh my
smooth
God.
60 frames per second. Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5.
Can you tell the difference from here and here? Like I said, I got a 4K laptop and I can't tell the difference. Maybe that's a hair blurry right there, but this is in action. No, it's moving, so you could say that's a little blurrier because it's moving. But like, if you look all around, it's pretty freaking clear to me. Maybe a hair clear over here, but I'm like, what the hell? Like this is ridiculous.
Which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
Don't stop! We gotta lose.
This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation.
Once again, I cannot tell the difference from this one or that one. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like, oh, we barely made it a hair clear. So let's pay hundreds of dollars more. I mean, okay, this right. The only thing I see a little bit more clear is right here. From that is clear right here, but everything else looks pretty clean. I mean, what the hell? Like, eventually, there's going to be one that looks so clear it's like looking from a piece of glass. So this is ridiculous.
5. Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second.
I cannot tell the difference. Like, like I said, if you're looking on a 1080p TV, you're not going to tell the difference either. But
What we see here is a difference.
very minimal. Maybe there's a little clear right here with the grass and the guns a little clear, but oh, I need to see this type of detail right here.
In detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
Oh my god, look at this.
For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural cars. So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big three showing
The
their value.
big three.
As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in
Here's another thing: to fully utilize the Pro, you need a high-end TV, which most people don't have. Exactly, Steven, you're 100% correct. Like, right? Like, there, if you look on the box of the PS5, the the one that came out, the original one, it says 8K. You know, you never see a game at 8K for this. Like, it barely runs game at 4K. Like, I'm hearing it's sometimes they'll play games subpar HD almost. Like, I remember when PS4 was having a bitch of a time to get games at 1080p. I mean, when it was what 740, like was considered HD. And like to me, that's even still pretty good right there. Like it's getting to the point. I think where the eyeball, what I hear, it just that the eyeball can't tell the difference from beyond 4K. So what's the point of having 8K? You're gonna look at it like, oh, this little piece of grass right there, that's a little clearer than that piece of grass on that screen. I'm like, it's ridiculous. And like, it's just, I can understand if they want to future proof some stuff. Here's the kicker thing: like, PS5 has not have a good library of games yet. I'm like, what the we're 4 years into the console right now, and there's barely any games out there. Like, if you want some uh, oddball games, it's going to be digital. But if you want to play some games on a disc game, there's not a lot of games out there. I agree, Steven. I have the base PS5. Like I said, like, does it have to run the best and the cleanest? No. I mean, I play with the Switch, I play with the Wii U, and I'm happy because hey, at least they don't have the cleanest graphics in the world, but hey, the game's actually good. I'm like, yes, right now they have Astrobot that's out there that's I love right now, but like I point this out again. I notice how nice it looks just on my 1080p TV. Like, I'm not planning to get a 4K TV anytime soon because I'm still happy with that. Unless it gets so outdated that I need to get rid of it. Oh, here's the TSS. To me, $6.99 for the console that's slightly better than the PS5 with no disc drive or stand. You had to buy separate. Yeah, Sony is nickel and diming you. That's the thing is they're pulling a nut. This is their mistake again, like they did with the PlayStation 3, where wasn't the PS3 like priced at $600? And that was the high end one with the more graphics and I mean with the bigger hard drive, and it was able to play backward compatible the games from like 1, 2, and 3. So let me remove this for a second. Let me move me up. So yeah, it's ridiculous because like at least the PS4 right now has a good library. I mean, I have quite a bit of PS4 games, even though probably a, a third of it is VR games I have physically. But like I got more PS4 games than probably 1, 2, and 3 combined. Well, not combined, but like out of so like and now like there's barely any PS5 games, and then like I was saying, PS3 was like they nickled and dimed the shit out of you. I mean, no, the PS3 was super expensive even back then, and now they want you to pay $700 for a digital PlayStation 5 Pro that, like you said, you had to buy the disc drive, and then you had to remember, like you said, you buy the stand, and then you had to buy the side panel, and I guarantee it's the same side panel that they use for the current PS5. So they're cheaping out for that. Honestly, I know the currently was it the PS5 goes for $500. They should just take a hit and only make it 600, maybe make it 500, and drop the base PS5 down to 400. Like, think about this. You know how many more PS5 you would sell if you dropped $100? So here's the rose. I'm not buying a PS5 Pro. Too expensive, not worth the price for the minimal upgrade, and it's digitally only. Yeah, I agree. Then I'm not buying it either. Judging Sony doing this for the Pro, I guarantee the PS6 will be digital only. Yeah, I agree. PS6 will be all digital, and I guarantee you why that will be. And like the biggest evidence right now is go to Best Buy, go to Walmart, go to Target. You see how your selection is getting smaller and smaller and smaller because they're trying to get out of the physical copy business, and it sucks because and like they want you to buy it digitally because one, it'd be cheaper for them all the way around. So they don't have to print out. I mean, stamp a disc, make a case with artwork, and ship it out. Like it'd be more profit for the people who made the game and for Sony. I don't mind playing GTA 6 on the. No, I agree on the base. I think on the base GTA 6. Who cares if we'll be missing out slight? Oh, I agree. slightly missing out. No, I figure I understand. I totally agree. I agree with that. I'm like, if I when GTA 6 comes out, like I think it's gonna look great just on the base PS5. I mean, I think this might be. I don't know. I'm thinking like I'm shocked that we got a PS5 Pro coming out. I mean, but then again, you have Microsoft coming out with a uh, Xbox Series X with digital version, and that's what they should have done beforehand instead of having the Xbox Series S. But it's ridiculous. It's to the point. It's like just time to buy a gaming PC because you can play games from Microsoft on there or Xbox. You can same thing from PlayStation, and then you got Steam. The only thing, like, unless you can find a way to play Nintendo games, there's ways. I'm not gonna say I don't know how, but I'm not gonna look it up, or I don't condone that, but I mean, it's like TSS saying it's crazy to think Nintendo will be the only company, the big three, will still be making physical games. I think they'll probably will, but it could be also where maybe they'll not have a Switch 2 without having physical copies. They are still pumping out a bunch of physical copies for the Switch, and it costs them more money to make Switch games. It's not like a disc, like I said, this game where you just stamp out a disc and make a quick case for it, where they there's actually a little bit more work into it. But look right now, look at the Switch library. Like I go to the video game store and there's like a huge selection of Switch games. I can't even think about trying to get the whole Switch library because it's probably in the hundreds now. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I do think Nintendo might do it, but I could see them go the other way though too. But let's see, physical edition. No, they'll have Steven. Out of the blocks, yeah, there's just going to be a digital, but it's like the current PS5 that's out there where you stupidly you can buy the digital one, and then if you decide to get the physical to have the disk drive, you can buy the disk drive, and then you had to buy the side panel for it too. So yeah, so to make a physical copy, not a physical edition. What's funny to the people saying the reason get rid of the district. Oh yeah, it's stupid. It's you give them an option to have get rid of the physical copies. They're I mean Sony's been already like removing movies from the PlayStation 5. That's what I heard. Like someone like people has bought movies and have it on their console and because they lost their license for it, they what I heard they went in and took the movies out of these people's library on the PlayStation 5. So like think about that. You buy a freaking movie or game and God forbid like something happens or it's let's say we go into the next gen, you can't get a update or you can't get that copy again because it just uh that service went down. I would say that because that's you still have to make. I mean, you have to make the product, so it. I'm not going to say it doesn't cost them because I know they're trying to make. See, they learned their lesson after the PS3 debacle, where see, if people don't know what happened with the PS3, uh, Sony was selling the PS3 at a loss. They were selling that for $600 when it cost Sony $900 to make the fucking thing. So they were losing $300 each PS3. So ever since that, like with the, and then Sony wasn't doing good with that, and then obviously sometimes their films they're not doing good. I'm not sure how their electronics been doing. Well, I'm hearing PlayStation is their most profitable division. So I'm like, um, so they learned their lessons. Like, well, at least with the PS4, we need to make a slight profit and not lose. I think they only made $14 for each PS4. So I'm wondering how much money are they making when they sell a PS5 Pro for $700. And, and yeah, like here's the thing, and and then they want you to buy a fucking separate stand. Like, was that like less than $1 to make? So instead of here's a cheap free stand. Oh, we're gonna make you have to buy like a 25 or $30 stand that cost them like maybe 30 cents to make. I know 360 was winning that war until I heard PS3 won at the very end. Well, at between those two, the Nintendo Wii won that generation. So, but between if you take Nintendo out, then the PlayStation 3 slightly beat 360. That's what I heard. So let's go ahead and continue watching this. Let's bring this back up. Bring me in. There we are. Guys, see me? According to Bloomberg, uh, it cost Sony $450 to make the PS5. Well, probably that's probably true. I wouldn't doubt if that's true or not. Uh, actually, that's not true. I think at that time, I think PS4 was. I think they dropped it down to 300 at that time, and I think the PS4 Pro was 400. I believe that where it was, but oh, okay, I gotcha, I gotcha. Well, see, that makes a bigger difference. Like when those two launched, I mean, when that launched was $400 the base, and when that launched, that was $400. See, that made sense. I was okay with that because when they dropped the price of the PS4, like, hey, that was smart. So, like now, so I think Sony just getting greedy now. They, even though like they're probably making money off digital games right now, but like there's really, honestly, if I didn't have a PS5, I've been okay without it, anyways. Because the only two games that are on there that on the PS5 that like is Spider Man 2, and the game I'm currently been playing, Astrobot. Everything else is pretty much backward compatible to PS4. That's the only two games I can think of right off the top of my head. Maybe was it Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? That's probably another one I'm thinking, but like all the sports games, all I'm pretty sure all the third party games are still uh PS4 and PS5. So it was like, so now we're gonna have PS4, PS5, and PS5 Pro. Here's the bros. That's because you don't bridge out and play fighting games. Oh, that is not 100% true. I mean I do like RPGs. I play current fighting games? No, but that's not true. I mean, I play Spider-Man 2. I like God, Horizon Zero Dawn. I like the God of War games. Like just because I don't play like, oh, Call of Duty. I'm like, come on, man. I know you're the RPG guy, you're the fighting game guy, Rose. But I mean, bands, correct. I like games, yeah, like that on from Nintendo. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, I play more retro. And David, yeah, I totally agree. PS5 Pro isn't worth it. I agree. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get all the way past all this bullshit. Other people are saying, "Hey, they're not even showing any new game." Nope, they showed the console, and with all old games, without showing a new game, and it's like, oh, $700. It's like almost $1,000. Oh, let me remove that for Canadians. Like, look at that, $700 uh, American. I'm thinking that's pounds, or is that euros? And I think that's yens right there. So, and look at that. Of course, they have to say include tax. And then look at this. Vertical stands sold separately. So even this is false advertising right here. Like, if anything, they need to be showing this thing on its side. I think that will give you two of those little prong things so the thing can sit on its side. But that's even more bullshit. What's up, King Meow Meow? Oh yeah, that's right. They showed The Last of Us Part Two is a PS4 game. They're like, oh, like we remastered a remaster of a game from the last gen. So like they already didn't they remaster it for the PS5? So they're gonna do it again or like have a special upgrade for compatible. It's stupid. So here I got an idea. Let's see. I know there's a ton of people who are upset. Let's see what the yeah 15. Oh no, that's how many subs they got. Uh, does it say how many people viewed this fucking thing? I don't see the view count. Oh, here it is. Over 3 million view count. Only 93,000 1,000 people hit like. I'm gonna hit dislike. Let's see this. Let's check out these comments. So got hit like on this one. It says $700 without a vertical stand and disk drive is insane. Well, sure he meant without a disk drive. Look at this. Play has no limits. Price has no limits. Sony. Suddenly PC gaming ain't that expensive. Well, no, it's showing PC is the future. Then you got this one right here. No disk drive, no stand, showing old games. So happy I made the switch to PC. Yep. 18 euros in Europe without a fucking disk drive is crazy. Oh, I love this one. PS5 Pro, $700. Disk drive, 80 bucks. Vertical stand, $30. And he forgot to add, you got to buy the side panel for the disk drive because unless you're planning to not have the replacement side panel, still playing PS4 games, priceless. Got hit a like on that. Is there anyone going to say anything good? Oh, how bold of them, leaving the comments enabled. Yeah, that's a good point right here, having the comments enabled. Oh, that's what it is? Is it really that? Steven, is that what you found out? They have 169,000 dislikes? Nice. Oh my god, that's crazy, dude. Do you know what they will do? They will release a disk drive later on. No, see, Rose, I believe you can buy the same disk drive and side panel that the current PS5 does, because it looks like they use the same side panels. They just have those fins separating it. So it's going to be slightly taller and has fins. So you can buy the disk drive, uh, but it's stupid. Like, and then you got to remember, no game with it too, so you're even more fucked. Oh, don't give them any ideas right here. That's too generous. Generous. They should sold the controller separately too. That's brilliant. That's awesome right there. Oh yeah. People are really taking a dump on this. Yep, here's another one. I'm shocked the controller, the power cable aren't sold separately at this point. Y'all lost your minds. Oh, it feels like it. I just answered a telemarketer call. Listen to their pitch as they're trying to upsell me a product I already have or don't need. Yeah, I agree. It. Oh, I love this one. Stan is sold separately from Sony. Apple, I am so proud of you. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, yeah. I, I don't know how you pronounce that your name, but no, I'm like, I agree. You're in good shape right now. You have Series X, PS5, and you got a good PC. Like, I have a PS4 Pro as well. So if I didn't find a cheap, and I'm saying cheaper than normal retail for a PS5, I wouldn't get it. Bam says I'll buy it. No, I will not. The only okay, the only way I would buy it is if I can go to the pawn shop and see. I bought my PS4 Pro through a pawn shop. I got a little scammed. I had to buy a hard drive and a controller, but I bought my PS4 Pro, and this is before PS5 came out for $150. So, but I had to get a hard drive because the hard drive was corrupted, and but after that and a new controller, I was fine. But let's check. Let's see. I love these comments. They're brilliant. See, that's what I'm saying right here. I can't believe it's 2006 again, you guys. Yep. Oh, I seen that one right there. Yes, he is right. We don't want slightly clearer and shinier graphics. We want more games with better gameplay. Damn right. That's why, like, right here, that's the best comment out of them all, right there. Is because, I mean, uh, the Rose would, he's like, oh, you're a Nintendo guy. You're a Nintendo fanboy. Hey, at least they have games, that actually people want to play them. Well, I mean, like Sony, they're like, hey, guess what? We're not going to announce anything for a year. Well, this makes sense because probably they're like we're almost the end of this year, and in a couple months we'll have the PS5 Pro release. Of course, they've been waiting to drop this. That's why. Yeah. Bam says Casey wants easy games, cheat codes, etc. Yes, you are correct. I love these comments. Yep, that is true. Oh, $500 PS5 Pro with $200 Condor tax. I love that. That's brilliant. No disk drive, no vertical stand, no bank account after purchase. That's a crime. Yeah, it is a crime. If you want to play your disc games on the PS5 Pro, say goodbye to your hard-earned money because the disc drive add-on is $80 too. Well, yeah, yep. That's why I brought the PS3 moment, or they're having their PS3 moment or their Xbox One moment. This is not good. Look at this right here. $700 for 0 new games minus the disk drive. What's the point? It's not It's not a computer. What am I supposed to do with a console without games? I have a PSVR 2 and a PS5, but what's the use? Oh, laughs and PC Master Race. Yeah, I have not seen one good comment saying, "Yeah, you guys, I mean, it's gonna be good." Yeah, he does. That one dude does look like he's a serial killer. Who the fuck? Honestly, people are like, who went over here is like, you know what? I'm gonna hit like on there. I'm willing to pay $700 for a diskless PS5 Pro. I would love to know who hit like on that. That is just stupid as fuck. Sorry, gotta make that Concord money back. Yep, lost millions. Your problem is, Casey, you don't. No, I mean I agree with that. I'm not gonna disagree that you do play wider, like you do play like racing games. You play fighting games and you play RPGs. I'm not gonna disagree with that at all. I mean, you are correct. I mean, but those are not are my favorite RPG games. Honestly, the Earthbound series. There are a couple RPG games I like, but I uh, right now there's not a lot. I mean, Rose, can you tell me minus uh like what other games for the PS5s would you like? I mean, you even said earlier that I'm going to be honest with you. I had not turned my PS5 on in about 2 months. So, and then you say, whereas you are very picky. I mean, you like playing more uh, modern day. I'm not gonna lie about that. You play more modern day, and you play more on the PC. While yes, I like to play retro. I'm not gonna lie about that. So, dude, you're in the chat arguing with me. Why don't you come in here and give me your opinions here? I tried to invite you so we can chat about this. So, I love to bring you back on. I'll have you on. Let's see what else they got here. Yep, this is why my brother keeps telling me to grab a PC instead. Yep, you're right. But let's check out all these other people right. Ooh, look at this right here. Um, PS5 Pro analyst Sony is testing PS6 pricing. Huh, interesting. So they're thinking people are going to pay $700 for a PS6. See right here, this guy from CNET actually went in there. Let's screw it. Let's try it.
More, but not too much tremendously more. I'm here at PlayStation headquarters.
He actually went and got to see it. Here's the road because Casey, I've been using my Xbox because I've been having Game Pass. Well, see, Game Pass is great. I agree, dude. I totally agree, 100%. You're you're eating a dildo. You're eating a dildo, or are you saying I'm eating dildo? Yeah. There are 3 games coming out next month on. Two of them are on the PS5. Okay, cool. I still love this one right here. The Rose. This is the best comment of the day. I'm eating dildo. So while the Rose shows up, um, let me check this one out from CNET.
With an exclusive hands-on of Sony's brand new PlayStation 5 Pro console that's coming out in November. Yes, I got to play a bunch of games on it. Here's what's going on. It's been 4 years since here. Compared side by.
Yeah, see, this is why I think those side panels might be the same ones right there. It's kind of hard. This one actually looks a little bit bigger, but this one looks right there, looks about the same. But stupidly, if Sony was smart enough that they would do that instead of making like making people want to buy a PS5 Pro side panels. So
Side, it's also not that much larger. In fact, it's a little bit smaller than the PlayStation 5 original, which is a nice surprise because the PlayStation 4 Pro was definitely bigger and thicker. What do you get? Well, there's no optical drive. You have to buy that separately. You can use the same optical drive that's available on the slim model and pop it in. And also, it may be that a lot of people choose to prefer the digital version now, considering that there's also Wi-Fi 7, and the size of the drive is now bumped up to 2 terabytes. Which is the same speed as the SSD in the previous models. Same CPU too, but the GPU is a lot beefier. It's supposed to be 67% more powerful.
the Rose that's right, I figured I called you a dildo. You dildo. At least you gotta at least put a comma in there. That's why I was like, that's when I see I'm eating a dildo. Like I had this I thought that was funny.
And a lot more things like ray tracing. There's also a big focus on upgrading the resolution of existing games. PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution is the technology that uses an AI neural upscaling using a convolutional neural network to basically just make sure the games play really nicely in 4K. And speaking of 4K, existing PlayStation 5 games, they always had 2 modes, which was either 1080p, 60 frames per second, or 4K at 30 frames per second. Sony's now offering a Pro mode that glues both of those together, and so you're getting both 60 frames per second and 4K. Now, that's exactly what I would have wanted to play in the first place. If you're interested in doing things like 8K gaming, or you want to do things like 120 frames per second, there are capabilities for games to do that, but those are going to be on a game-by-game basis. The real push here is for really nice 4K 60 frames per second across the board for your entire library. What does this mean for the future of PlayStation? I got to talk to Mark Cerny, lead systems architect for PlayStation, and Hideaki Nishina-san, CEO of Platform for Sony Interactive Entertainment. They talked about how, in a lot of ways, PC gaming right now.
I wanted this guy to kiss some ass to get over and play this. Like, you know, he's not gonna say anything bad. He probably kissed Sony's ass to try this out.
providing a kind of an on-ramp for some of these technologies, but also allowing Sony to lead a bit with some things like ray tracing, where they're using an AMD-developed ray tracing technology that isn't even in existing
I'll probably
GPUs.
get copies.
Some of that will
The-
kind of ride ahead,
Okay.
and other things, like maybe more advanced graphics that you might be used to on PCs, will finally have a chance to come over to PlayStation 5 Pro. And as a lot of games now are increasingly cross-platform, and Sony's games live on PCs, you'll probably see much more of that cross-pollination. Clearly,
then there's no point to get PS5 Pro if a lot of Sony games are going to the PC. So, what makes it makes no sense.
really a fidelity push for people who may have really big TVs or really big AV lovers and want something that either looks the best it can be or runs really smoothly. On the big screens that I played on, you could definitely see the difference. But if you're a PlayStation 5 owner, I think you could also be fine continuing to play the PlayStation 5. There are going to be about 50 games that come out at launch with upgrades specifically for the PS5 Pro. Now, while a lot of them will involve the introduction of this new Pro mode that will be able to run at a smooth 60 frames per second and 4K performance, there are going to be others that do other things. It could be graphic upgrades to the environment, more people in the environment. So that's a console. Let's go play the games. This is Sony's PlayStation demo room where I got to try out the PlayStation 5 Pro on a bunch of games in 2 different setups. The first one, got to play on 2 different monitors, checking out a whole bunch of games on the PlayStation 5 and then the PlayStation 5 Pro, looking at the 2 different play modes, fidelity and performance on the 5, and then the Pro mode on the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's Horizon Forbidden West. And then I got to play a few games on a big 80-inch screen, including
For me, this month, the game I'm getting is Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Club. Oh, that's a good idea. The Pluckley Square, or is it Square? In the Legend is Zelda Echo of Wisdom. Yeah, like, and one of them exclusive to Switch. Well, that's going to be the Zelda game, but Marvel vs. Capcom, that'd probably be awesome to play.
including Gran Turismo 7, which has an 8K mode, or alternately, one with ray tracing turned on, which is what I've got right here. I mean, this is obviously the version I would want to play. It is, the reflections and ray tracing are beautiful. I got really into playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I love games like this. What's really fun is that it's just such a fast game, and I feel like the Pro makes it feel faster. So I'm grabbing one controller that's connected to a PS5, playing on a PS5 for a bit, and then I would jump back and forth between that and a PS5 Pro to see what it's like. This is the 4K 30 frames per second version of Horizon Forbidden West, which I wish they had used to and looks really good.
Look at but like right now, I don't see the difference. I mean, which one is which? I mean, this is a little blurry, but he's also in motion. I mean, if I would have to say looks even. See, now it's a little more clear. So, like, he stopped. So, did he say which one is which? Like, I can't tell. Like, that looks pretty clean, but that also looks pretty clean.
Is playing it 4K 60 frames per second on PS5 Pro, which looks buttery smooth. And
so the top one was the
really
PS5
crisp.
Pro.
So, you know, it is like going back and playing it on the 30 frames. It's kind of hard to do because this looks really nice. Unfortunately, Sony didn't let us do any direct capture of the PlayStation 5 Pro during our demos at Sony's headquarters. And they didn't let us do any close-up, real extended looks at the gameplay on screen either. But hopefully you can get an understanding of what I'm talking about for when the system debuts on November 7th. What does this mean for the future of next-gen gaming? Well, that's hard to tell because we're not maybe fully in next-gen gaming yet, but we're getting there by increments. PlayStation 5 Pro is the hottest of the new gaming technology tech that we've seen, and it's adopting some ideas that PC gaming still doesn't have yet. It'll be really interesting to see where games start to evolve and get better along with PS5 Pro graphics, but also where the PS5 Pro ray tracing and all of that tech begins to hint at where technology is going to be headed for PC gaming to come. Not everyone's going to want to upgrade to this, but I'm really curious about what games are going to start looking like on the hardware.
He looks like a shield to me, if you ask me. Like, I think he's one of those elitists. It's like, I gotta have the newest and best things. See, even Arlo saying it's bad. I would love to see his reaction to it. Witness a scam unleashed. Yeah. There's the Dreamcast guy. This one actually looks different. Oh
What's up,
no,
Gaber?
that looks different if you ask me right there. Yeah, it does like look like it just got like black, like it looks like he edited that. It's like he had a base one and he just put lines because those fins don't look right. It looks like he got white fins on that one. Gamers hate the PS5 Pro. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Sony's bloodbath. Gamers are furious. Yeah. And you know what I love is that when they say, "Hey, you know what?" And Sony says, yeah, it's funny. It's not just Sony. Microsoft did this too when they're having the next mid generation. They're saying that, oh, we are making the our most powerful console we ever made. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I'm hoping you are. Like, especially with $700, it gotta be the most powerful console you ever made. If not, like if it's subpar the current PS5, then like that's just stupid. It's like when they're trying like, oh, look all this. It's it's 47% more GPU. Like, okay, like it's just stupid. TSS is like the Dreamcast guy, over exaggerates face and every thumbnail. I don't think he's that bad, but I know people are taking a dump on the PS4, no, on the Dreamcast guy. I think that Chael is the only guy said anything nice. And here's another CNET right there. That one's a 30 minute video. uh I listened to this while I was at work. RGT 85 is more disappointed than he thought when he didn't know it was uh this version was a just digital right there. He didn't know about that wasn't the disk drive. Oh, God. Yeah, people hates it. People are not liking this. Hey, look at this one. Someone made um well, they were right about that. $700 for that one. I think that's accurate. But this is also 3 days ago. I think they just so they got it right. So stupid. Yep, I hadn't seen anyone say anything good. Oh, this is before that came out. I gotta save that. Watch that later. So they did announce it that beforehand. I didn't know. Well, I think that Shield is the only guy who actually fought. It was a good thing. Everyone else is taking a freaking dump. Honestly, I think we're on our. I think we're on the last leg. This PS6 probably is most likely going to be all digital. And same thing with the next Xbox. If Xbox actually produce anything, Xbox might just be a an app eventually because I don't think they want to make a system anymore. I think they're want to get out. So I mean, but I also hear that Game Pass isn't really making any money. So and they're selling. They closed a bunch of their studios. So I think Microsoft could probably getting out of the console business. I think they're going to pull Sega. So I think it's going to end up with the next generation. I think it's just going to be Nintendo and Sony next generation. And where Microsoft will have the Xbox app that's going to be on the Switch 2 and uh, the PS6. Or maybe the PS5 Pro. But uh, I don't know. Do you guys think Xbox is going to have an upgrade? I mean, I know they're having the Xbox Series X all digital. Are they? I'm wondering, are they going to do? Here, I'll just send it to you right here, Rose. I did send you the link in our DM, but I'll send it right here. So, um, the Rose will be here very shortly. So while we're waiting for him to show up, um, I'm working currently editing a game for the Game Boy Advance right now. It is Contra Alien Wars EX for the Game Boy Advance. I'm in the middle of editing that. I got two cool games that just came in. They're for the Dreamcast, but they're Neo Geo games. They're um, reproduction games. They're like they're Neo Geo games on Dreamcast. So I'm gonna do a test because they're burned games. So I'm gonna test my Neo Geo CD, see if they play that. If not, I will play my those on my Dreamcast. So while waiting for the road shows up, let me bring up my other channel. I mean, my other channel. What I've been doing. Fuck the Dreamcast guy. He's not that bad. I'm just kidding about that. I think he's a cool guy. All right. So I released Sonic 2, Sonic Advance 2 for the Game Boy Advance. Beetlejuice for the NES actually did very well for me. Played Legend of Zelda Season of Oracle of Seasons for the Game Boy Color, and played Super Mario 64 DS on the Wii U. Played several Neo Geo CD games right here. As live games, obviously, what I'm doing right now. Uh, Lately I've been playing Astrobot. I've been having a blast playing Astrobot. And I don't need a PS5 Pro to play that. It looks just good enough for me right there. I think it looks beautiful as it is. And I feel like Astrobot is their version. It's a 3D Mario game if you really think about it. So, if you like 3D Mario game, this is you'll like Astrobot. So I highly suggest Astrobot on the PS5. You can play if you have the PS5, you can play Astro Playroom, and uh I really love Astrobot on the PS4 VR. I really like that one. So I was a fan when I heard about this coming out. I was happy about that. Uh, but yeah, I'll be working on editing some more of those gameplays after this. I'm not sure if I'll drop Contra 3 after this, but that might be something I might drop tomorrow, especially it's already 7 o'clock my time. And once the Rose shows up, maybe I don't know how much longer. I want to get his opinion about this whole thing. I was trying to get the Filthy Mouth Gamer on here, but dude, PlayStation took a shit the last couple days with that. I think it's stupid because PS5 doesn't have a lot of games. I'm not sure digital versions, but there's not a lot of physical games for PS5. The only thing it got going is that it's backward compatible to PS4. I think this is what I would say a PS5 Pro would do, make it worth it. If it's like the ultimate PlayStation, I would love to see it go fully backward compatible. That's what I would pay for it. But we got the Rose here now. What's up, bro?
You had to drag me on here, didn't you? I was trying to save this topic for fucking Sunday, but now I gotta scrap it from Sunday's playbook.
Well, I was trying to do this yesterday, but came up. I actually had to take care of a couple things around here, and then I passed out on the couch.
I wasn't
So
home yesterday when they did the PS5 Pro video, and quite honestly, I think just by reading the Spark Notes version of the video that everyone's been sharing online, I don't think I need to watch the video.
you don't. It's pointless because honestly, I mean, there's only a few games that's exclusive to the PS5, right? Like, I think even
Not
if you
many.
have,
Yeah, there's not many. And some of the games that are being upscaled for the PS5 Pro are already multi platform as well. So
yeah, like this just made. I think this makes Sony look very greedy, especially how they're nickel and diming you every way to go. I mean, forcing you to have to buy a fucking stand. I know they did that with the new PS5 right now.
yeah, the Slim.
Yeah, the Slim, but like I guarantee you that it doesn't cost them more than $1 to make that fucking thing, but they want to charge you $30 for it.
And then they want you to buy the disc drive separate and everything else too.
Yeah.
Why don't they just
So
charge you for the fucking HDMI cable and the power cord while they're at it?
that's what someone put in there too. It's like, how generous. I mean, you should have sold the controller separate too. I'm like, and then like I was listening to RGT 85, and like I didn't know other people, and then they brought up the point. So think about all the money you're spending right there, and then if you want to go online, remember you gotta get the PS Plus as well.
Yep.
So it was like I think Sony had their PS3/Xbox One moment, and I think it's not gonna. I mean, I think they fucked up twice this generation. I mean, I think they're already bailing out on the VR headset,
Yeah, they
and
definitely didn't have as much faith in the PSVR 2 as they did in the first one.
nah. The only thing I think made it a little bit better is that now you could use it for your PC now, you know. But like I think when Sony like they don't say it like, it's just going gangbusters, then they lose all hope. I mean, we've seen them do that to the PS Vita and or is it the PSP Vita?
Yeah, it was the PS Vita. They had a lot of faith in the PSP, and they like abandoned the PS Vita like 2 years after they launched it.
Yeah, and like so if it's not doing gangbusters, they cut it at the knees. But it's ridiculous. I'm like $700 when I sold that. I was like, no, they didn't learn their fucking lesson from the PS3. It's actually more expensive than the PS3.
What they need to do now is they need to price cut the PS5 down to 400 and the digital down to 300,
Oh yeah, and if they
or
would
the
make,
digital down to 350, if they want any hopes of this freaking PS5 Pro to sell.
I don't see it selling. I think people buy the current one.
I just read something online a little while ago
Hmm.
that said only around 10 to 15% of Sony's player base said they'll upgrade to a PS5 Pro. So that's very very not good.
Uh, I mean, out of the whole fan base, yeah, that's not good, but that's still like let's see how many PS5s sold. How many P, PS5 has been sold? 50 million. That's after 4 years. That I guess that's okay. I think that's pretty good. But
So you figure 10% of that is only 5 million. So only 5 million people are willing to upgrade
yeah,
in that
well that
ballpark area. Five to 7.5 million
yep.
right now is basically the ballpark range of how many people are willing to upgrade.
Yeah, because here it is, right? I'm gonna show it right here. It says 50 million units, according to two sources, by the way. But I think that's accurate. But could have been a lot more if they would didn't have the shortages. But I think
Well, if the pandemic didn't happen, yeah, it would have been higher. That's
yeah.
for sure.
But yeah, so only 5 million people. I guess even with that, that's a lot of consoles for how much they'll be making. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
curious.
the PS4 Pro made a lot more sales than that, and you can't say it didn't.
Well, it made more sense because it's like Steven said earlier. Steven Legenheim said that um, when it was when the PS4 launched, it was $400. When the PS4 Pro came out, it was $400, and that's what
This
like.
one, this one is the price of a PS5, and then almost another half of that.
Well, the PS5 isn't it like $500?
Yeah, so I said, so it's the price of a PS5, and then almost another half of that on top of that.
Yeah. So, oh, you're talking about getting two PS4s?
No, the price of the PS5 is $500, but then
Yeah.
the Pro is another $200 more.
Oh.
That's why I said it's the price of a PS5, and then add another almost half of that to the
Oh
price.
yeah. Okay. Well, it's stupid. I just can't believe that. I don't even think they
I
should have done
honestly,
it.
honestly though, I can see them releasing a PS6 at fucking $700. I really can. Look at the
Oh,
fucking cell phone
especially after.
companies. Look at the cell phone companies. What they fucking charge for phones. It's outrageous. The iPhone 15 comes out in 12 days or 11 days. You know how much that fucking phone starts at?
What?
$900.
Well, I remember when the iPhone 10 was $1,000.
That was for the Pro model. The base model was 600. The
Oh,
Pro Max
really?
was 1,000. Yep.
Oh. Well, I'm not a big smartphone person, anyways. I'm the idiot that goes in and is like, oh, what's a good phone to have? I'm not like I'll tell them like I need one. Like obviously this is before I got a laptop. It's like I need a good camera,
Yeah.
but but yeah, I would say that price point for the PS6 is gonna weigh on how this is gonna sell. I don't think they're gonna make the same mistake again out of the box if the PS5 Pro doesn't sell.
If this doesn't sell at 700, I could see them at the least selling the PS6 at 600 again, just like the PS3.
I think that's the most they would have. I think it'd be smarter to be at the 500 price point. I mean, I can understand not 400. Okay, like even this, like then
The
I
Switch
think.
2, when that comes out, no doubt. The Nintendo basically all but confirmed that that's coming out at $400.
Well, you know what? I mean, I think it'd be okay because, but I mean, I'm not gonna be happy about it though. I mean, inflation's really done a real bad damage ever since when the Switch came out. I mean,
That's been a problem too.
yeah, I mean that's why. I mean, I guarantee you the biggest part of the problem is Sony's not doing good, and then you have inflation, so everything's gone up and like crazy. So I mean, inflation affected the PS5 Pro as well, but I'm hoping people are gonna vote with their wallets and not buy this fucking thing because
As long as
that-
people stick to their guns and they say they're not going to buy it, and then they don't, then Sony will learn their lesson.
that's what they need to do. They did it before when they tried. I think they had to lower the price of the PS3 before it started selling very
Yeah, they
good,
did. It started selling as well as it did once it was at like $400.
and then they learned their lesson with the PS4 when that was like their second best selling system of all time. So like I think they passed 120 ish, I think. But like I just think it's stupid. I think they're making a huge mistake and like maybe I could see it if they had a disk drive on there, but making you paying for a digital version, and then if you want a physical version, you had to pay more and more money. Like you said, like God, I'm. You know what? I'm shocked they given us a fucking console with the shells and everything. Like I'm shocked they didn't.
Yeah, why don't they just dismantle the thing and charge us individually for each part?
Exactly. I mean, that's coming next. Like, oh, you, like
$100 for the motherboard, 300 for the graphics card, 100 for the RAM,
exactly.
50
And then
$70 for the shell, 70 fucking dollars for the controller.
I mean, they're already paying that much for the controller anyway. So like, I'm like, back then a controller didn't cost $70. Like, I don't remember how much a controller cost back in the day. Like,
For the PS3, the controllers are $50.
I'm talking about maybe going back up pre maybe PS1 days.
Gone that far, I don't remember. But the
Yeah,
PS3, I remember they were like $50 for a controller.
but like it's ridiculous. So like I'm shocked, like people say that that you get a controller. Like we used to get two controllers for consoles, and they cut that shit back, and now some consoles don't even with like if you have like one of those like the NES Mini, it won't come with the power brick. It'll come with the fucking cord, but not the power brick.
Yeah, I have the SNES Mini, and that came with the wire, but no brick. You had to use like a cell phone fucking brick.
Yeah. So like I think they're learning like they people is probably gonna have a million of those. So I'll bet money that I think they'll have to Sony's gonna have to give you an HDMI cord because if they don't at least give you the high, like the one that does 8K, they're gonna look like assholes, you know?
No, they won't. They'll give you the standard fucking silver fucking plated one. The
The one
gold plated one right now is the good one. That's the one that outputs 4K. They don't give you that in the console boxes.
that's retarded. So, like, and it's like they said before, where you don't, the human eye can't see past the 4K visuals
I was
anyway.
gonna
So,
say somebody with perfect vision, which obviously we are far from having,
yeah.
um, is going to come to a point where the human eye is not going to be able to see. You know, like the resolution and graphics and everything's going to get so fucking up there
Mm.
that the human eye is not going to be able to fucking tell a difference. And then how are they going to make it a selling point when you can't even tell? When it's impossible to tell
But
because
while you look,
the human body is incapable of it.
exactly. Like, that's
We're
what I'm
getting pretty
saying.
close.
That's what I'm saying. Nintendo, I'm like, you can call me a Nintendo fanboy, but like, at least they're
At least
making.
Xbox isn't like all gung ho on graphics like they
That's
used
not.
to be. They learned their
Yeah,
lesson with that shit. Now it's fucking Sony doing it.
yeah, well, I mean, Microsoft did the Xbox One X, and that was like that had a huge leap in graphics because that could have been their next console instead of
As you remember, they were supposed to put out the Xbox, the new Xbox model, the cylinder shaped one. It was
yeah.
called the Elwood or some shit. And whatever happened with that, we don't hear nothing about that anymore.
No, but I seen about the Xbox Series X all digital where they took the disk drive out.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the one that
The
was
cylinder
supposed to be
one,
like
yeah.
the Xbox Series X Pro or something. We don't hear about that thing anymore, and that was announced. That was first like announced or somewhat, I guess you can say, sort of shown off 2 years ago.
I'm hoping both Microsoft and Sony eventually learn, hey, maybe it's not all about graphics. Maybe it's about how good the game is and gameplay.
Yeah,
Like,
it should be gameplay first, fun factor, and then make it look good.
Yeah, like I like that's why I like Nintendo better. Like I know you're saying I don't stand out. Like yes, I don't play fighting games, and I'm not a RPG guy, or you or sports fan gamer, but like a lot of the games I like is coming from Nintendo, and like at least a lot of the Nintendo games are actually fun to play. Well, I mean,
But
they're meant.
Nintendo's already said years and years ago that they don't prioritize graphics. They want to put out a game that's going to be something people want to play.
Exactly, and that's what it should be. Like,
And
I,
I don't like the PC master race people. I think they can suck a dick because console gaming does have its advantages too. But even like lately, even I started looking at more at hey, I should probably just start buying my games on PC because pretty soon it's not going to be much of a difference between having a PC or a console.
well, it's not gonna be much more because unless the only
I'm not
exclusive.
now. That's not me saying like I'm converting to PC gaming because having a console is convenient and you can take it places. Like when you go stay at a friend's house or something for a day, or you're staying with another relative and you want to bring your game with
Yeah.
you can't bring your fucking PC tower with you. Gaming
Well,
laptops,
I guess you could, but I mean, it's not convenient.
can only be so good, and you can't just go in and upgrade them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I don't know. I think after PS5, I think I'm done going for uh, anything from Sony or Microsoft because they don't care about gameplay anymore. I mean, it's all
Not
about
that they
graphics.
don't care; it's just that they're not making it a priority like they used to.
No,
Now
but
they're all about the money and how much they could soak you for.
I mean, the only game recently really like that Sony has, like I said, Astrobot's great, but I compare that to a 3D Mario game, and I think that's why it's doing good, is because I compare it to 3D Mario.
Yeah, a game doesn't have to look its best to do well and sell. Look at all the indie games that did well.
Yeah, but I think we need to get Kratos' opinion. I think this is still be a good topic for less than serious. I was just I want to get
I really
your
don't want to talk about this twice. That's why I was trying to not talk about it at all until Sunday.
mm, but I thought it was hilarious that I found only one shield that was talking good about this. It's like, oh, it looks good and it runs fast. I'm like, so he's one of those elitists. Like he's one
I
wrong.
wouldn't necessarily say he was an elitist. I think he was just one of those gaming journalists that doesn't want to fucking lose their that doesn't want to get blacklisted by a company from getting
Uh,
exclusive ability to like get early access to things. Some people will suck a dick, you know,
yeah.
if they think they could benefit from it.
Well, it's pretty much. I would love to see all those people who hit like on that fucking video. Like, I'm sure they, and I'm wondering if they hit like if they waited to the very end to see the price point. Did they because they waited until the very end to show the price point? So like, oh cool, PS5 Pro's out. I mean, it's coming, so I'm gonna hit like. I think that's the only reason they hit like, because I'm guarantee you when you see the price point, you're like, oh fuck that, and then seeing, and not only that, seeing it's that's it's the digital version. Like, it just makes me like blows my mind. Like, it's to the point it boils my blood how bad Sony really botched that. Like, I have no more words about it. I'm just very disappointed in Sony for this one. Like, I'm I like if I had to choose between Sony and Microsoft, I would usually go probably with Sony. I mean, but I guess I'm more unbiased. Minus, I'm more neutral because, but I'm more Nintendo too. But I can't. It's really frying my brain about this. I don't know what else you could say about this too.
And there's really nothing much to say. It's a waste of money. It's not worth the price. You got to buy everything fucking separate.
Yeah, and honestly, you. I think the PS5 base one I got. I don't even think I have the stand. I think it's
It
doing
comes with
just
the stand. It should cut. Yeah, the base one comes with it. I have it, but I don't even use it.
well. I did buy mine loose.
Oh yeah, so you bought your second hand. So yeah, you might not
Yeah.
stand.
So like it doesn't look like it's any time gonna fall over. I have mine upright or vertical. So it's but like the only reason I think they had to at least give you a couple of those stupid prong things so you can sit this thing sideways because it's not like a square where it just sits sideways. God, do you think Microsoft's going to release anything like a mid-generation? Uh,
If they were, I think we might have heard something by now.
do you think, let's say, in the next 6 months, we'll probably hear anything about it?
If I would say maybe. See, I don't know. I really don't think so. I mean, because Xbox has already given up some of their IPs to become multi-platform,
That's true.
so now they have less exclusive IPs, and
Yeah,
some of the games that are coming out are timed exclusives. They're not even full-fledged exclusives.
and a lot of it's already going to go on PC too. So
Yeah. Yep. So I don't see it. It's kind of a waste for them to release a new console.
the X, it could be the Xbox Series X two, or no, it could be the Xbox Series X Elite. There we go. Because I hate when people call everything pro because then Sony does that. So I think Microsoft used the word elite, so that's what it should be called, elite.
Just like I'm gonna fucking hate if they seriously call the new Switch the new Nintendo Switch. I will be so
That's
mad.
that's exactly. I'll bet money right now. I'll bet you $5. That's what it's going to be called in the new Nintendo Switch.
I'll be upset as fuck. What they should do is go back to the '90s and call it the Super Nintendo Switch. Is what they should do.
It'd probably be a completely different name because look what happened when they had the Wii and the Wii U, and Wii U's complete like the console slightly looks like the Wii, but it's also rounded, and you have a game tablet. So like, and yeah, plays Wii games, but people got it mixed up with the Wii. So if people call it the new Nintendo Switch, it might have the same problem. It has to have a brand new
That's why I'm
name.
saying like it needs to be called Nintendo Switch 2, which would be bland, but it would probably get the point across. Or Super Nintendo Switch, kind of like the SNES, Super Nintendo
Yeah,
Entertainment System.
yeah. The Super Switch.
Yeah. Um, they need to call it something so that like that shows it's not like a drastic change from what the Switch is,
Yeah,
but like it needs to be clear enough that it's not another Wii U situation where it's gonna fucking bomb.
yeah. Well, I think we dragged this point long enough. That's I can't think of anything else to really talk about. And like I I wanted to give Sony a big dump on their party because they took a shit on our face with this.
It
So,
was like they're honestly, I think they're gonna lose more money manufacturing these things than what they're gonna sell on them.
well, I agree because of I mean, no, I agree 100% because I don't see people actually a bunch of people buying this. This is probably going to be hands down their worst selling consoles, and this is minus the PS Vita, and I'm not counting the handhelds or the stupid the PlayStation Mini. I'm talking about out of their main consoles. I
Speaking
think
of the
this.
minis, like why? How come we never got a Nintendo 64 mini with how well the NES and Super Nintendo minis did?
I think that eventually will drop. I that might happen after the Super Switch, or I like to call the new Nintendo Switch.
I don't think so. I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened already.
I think that you don't want to do too many in a row because you had the NES, and then you had Super Nintendo the year after, and like I think if you like boom boom every year, you're gonna get to the point where like you come to up to the GameCube, you know. So do you do a GameCube mini, and do you do a Wii mini after that, or
Or maybe they're using Nintendo Switch Online as their way of replacing the mini console because everything is on one platform. If they do it that way, if you think about it,
yeah? I mean, I think they'll continue because they're continue adding more games to their lineup for that. And minus the Sega Genesis collection, they just gave up after like one refresh for
right?
that. But uh, yeah, I think it's ridiculous though. Sony served us a shit sandwich, and I'm not gonna eat it.
I'm not eating it either.
So
They could keep that
I'll
sandwich to themselves. That's
yeah,
a sandwich I'm not hungry for.
nope. So I think it's time to get the hell out of here. So I appreciate you coming by. So
Even if it was only for what 10 minutes.
no, I think you came by for more than that, for
Yeah,
probably 20 minutes.
it's only been about 10 minutes, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Uh, well, there's not much to really talk about. I mean, I still think it'd be a good topic for uh get Kratos on that, you know.
yeah,
But
but you know me, I don't like repeating myself.
I was trying to get Filthy Mouth Gamer on here with us, but I did get a message saying he thinks bullshit as well. That is stupid. That
And you know
said
what?
that
I read online. There was a now, of course, there was a rumor. So you shouldn't look too much into rumors anyway.
yeah,
Somebody posted, and this is some random fucking schmuck on Twitter. So obviously they had no credibility as a leaker or anything. And it posted PS5. It said PS5 Pro. Then it had all the other PlayStation logos underneath it.
yeah.
And the person captioned their tweet with PS5 Pro will be backwards compatible with every PlayStation console.
See, that's I was saying just before you jumped on. Is like if they would do that,
The only way they're
then
doing that, is by re-releasing the games that digitally through emulation. And PS3 games are the hardest
yeah,
PlayStation games to emulate because of the way they were made with the architecture they used for the PlayStation 3, which they admitted to using to help curb piracy.
I still I don't know how it's got to be that hard. I mean, yeah, I mean, you don't really actually play these games on disk drive anymore. It's a piece of plastic, but key, it's a key to the uh, key and lock system. So I just like to have the option to have a piece of plastic, but it would be cool if you're able to play off the disk drive, so you're able to play from 1 through 5. That'd be then I'm willing to think about buying it, because I think it'd be worth it because hey, you can play any of the generations from PlayStation. Then I think that'd be great.
And then
If
if they gave PS1 and PS2 and even the early PS3 games that didn't have the trophy support, if
yeah,
they like gave all PlayStation games that were ever made full trophy support, which they have actually done that with some PS1 and PS2 games that are re-released through PS5 emulation. But if they did that completely, then that would be something too that would sucker me in because I'm all for like getting achievements and liking to see the numbers go up
mm,
and I feel like the achievement system adds replayability to games, which I'm kind of surprised that Nintendo still hasn't done.
yeah. I mean, well, n- see, the thing is, I would love this if they had a system that played everything for Nintendo. I mean, they could play every disk drive if they wanted to. Well, actually, not with the Switch though.
Well, no, what I was saying is I'm surprised Nintendo hasn't implemented an achievement system.
Oh,
I mean, some games have in-game achievement lists, but it's not the same
yeah,
as having it go towards your actual account, or like what Xbox does. They have the Microsoft rewards, where
yeah.
getting achievements gives you getting achievements earns you rewards points. Where once you get enough of them, you can spend them on like you can get 1 month of Game Pass Ultimate for free. You can get
Oh, really?
Xbox Store gift cards. You can get Target gift cards, Walmart gift card, GameStop, Amazon. Yeah, you can use it for that, and that's another reason why I've been playing Xbox a lot more lately since I've been involved with this girl, that I've been talking to for almost 9 months. And we play Forza. We play Forza Horizon every Monday. So I need Game Pass for that. So I figured, you know what? I'm just gonna start stacking Microsoft reward points.
Well, I remember when Nintendo had their Club Nintendo, like you would, like yeah, you get points towards something, but you used to be able to get like free games digitally for like
Yeah, they
discount
still have.
prices.
Well, I mean, my Nintendo is still there, but you only get like things like people really don't want anymore.
No, like I actually have one of the cooler things that I bought secondhand, but comes in the question block box. And it's the a bunch of the Mario characters all in
Yeah,
there.
like now they'll like you can use your points on like sticker books. Like once in a while they'll have a poster. Posters are cool, you know.
Yeah,
Once in a
but
while they'll you can get a poster. But usually it's like a sticker book or it's a fucking notebook. Who's gonna want a Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door themed notebook? You know.
a child, a child probably would, but like I had no interest for that. I don't mind little statues or something like
Yeah, which
that.
they don't give stuff out like that anymore. Like I said, the best thing you can get these days with your My Nintendo points
Yeah.
and there's really no clear way of how to earn them either, except for the gold points, which you can use,
Mm,
to take money off of your purchases on the eShop, which is cool.
yeah.
Um, the regular My Nintendo points, there's no clear way on how to get those. And like
No.
the best thing you can get now with them is like a poster, which they don't even release posters for like all their top games. Anyway,
It sucks. Modern day gaming's starting to suck. Like, I remember when our first biggest problem was DLC,
yeah,
and
no. The biggest problem was having to pay extra to play games online because remember
yeah,
EA started that shit where if you bought a used game, if you bought a used game because they weren't making money from it, they made you buy an online game pass to play the game online. And it was an
nah,
extra $10 charge. You don't remember that?
no.
Yeah, that was fucking horrible. That was the worst.
But
And then
and
other
then
companies started doing it, like the 2K started doing it. They did it with a couple of the WWE games. If you bought them used, you had to buy the $10 online pass to play it online because
what?
they felt like they were getting cheated out of money on that game because you bought it used and not brand new.
Oh, fuck 'em. I mean,
I am so glad that didn't last very long. That lasted
no.
maybe 3 years, and people were not happy about it. Then all the companies fucking that were on board with that shit stopped doing it.
Oh, we had big, and then we had microtransactions. But
Yeah,
that,
microtransactions is the worst now.
yeah. Well,
I mean, I don't hate them. Like, I'm not furious about them like everyone else is. Like, yeah, they should. They really don't have a place in a game you already have to pay for in the first
yeah.
place. But at the same time, no one's forcing you to use them. They're
True.
there. It's a scummy practice, but no one's forcing you to use them.
That's a good point. I agree. That's
I
a
could
good point.
understand when they're in free games, like what you can play on your cell phone,
Mm,
or like a free to play game, like say like Destiny 2 is a free to play game now. I could
mm,
understand microtransactions being in that because you don't pay
yeah.
for it anymore. But a
Yeah.
game you have to spend $70 on, like let's say Mortal Kombat 1, for instance,
Mm,
the Mortal Kombat that came out a year ago. You pay $70 just to have that game, and then they have microtransaction options for you to spend real money on virtual currency to buy skins and stuff.
mm-hmm.
I feel there's no place, no place. I feel like there shouldn't be a place for microtransactions in that.
Oh, I don't like how they'll have the game done, and then they're like, "Well, you know what we could
Or to
do?"
do
Or
what remember what was it, Vicarious Visions, what they did with Crash Team Racing refueled or whatever that was called. When it first came out, it didn't have microtransactions, and then they slipped microtransactions into the game like a month later after all the fucking positive game reviews came out.
oh, really?
Yeah, people were pissed about that. I mean, that was fucking scummy. I will agree 100% with that. They waited for all the game reviews, all the positive reviews to come out, all the recommendations for people to buy the game to come out, and then they fucking added microtransactions to the game. I'm like, that's fucked up. That's scummy.
Well, it's any way to make more money. I'm like, I can understand. Hey, make extra content, but when they're trying to nickel and dime us, like to the point, like Mortal Kombat, do they still have where you have easy fatalities? Like,
Yes, that's something that I was telling you. You could buy them with the microtransaction. Yes.
well, how many
Now,
can you?
granted, they actually let you earn some of them by playing with the characters. You can earn some for free, but if you had earned all the ones you can get for free and you use them all, and you want more of them, then you have to buy them.
I can understand if, let's say, you pay $10, you unlock easy fatality. Not like you. How much is it? Like $10 for, or is it $5 for 20
I think
or
it's
something?
like I don't know. I think you buy You buy them with for the new Mortal Kombat, the current one, you buy
Mm,
what are called dragon crowns, I think. That's
mm.
the kind of the in-game currency coin that you can't earn just by playing the game. You got to buy those separately. Kind of like how Mortal Kombat 11 had what was called time crystals that you use to buy skins and stuff, and easy fatalities. Well, this game has, I think they're called. I'm pretty sure they're called dragon crowns. And yeah, so I think it's like 500 dragon crowns for 5 of them, which is like the equivalent of like I want to say $3.
Still, like, it's just scummy. Like, but like you said, sometimes you don't have to you don't have to buy them.
I
So,
mean, fatalities in the game aren't even hard to do in the first place. So why they have an easy fatality thing is beyond me. It's not
well,
even
for
necessary.
well, for
Fatalities are a lot easier to do in Mortal Kombat games now than they ever were in the 90s.
oh really? Because like, you know me, I'm not a big fire person. So like, the only I use Liu Kang or Scorpion, but I know more moves on Liu Kang, but I don't know any of the fatalities because like I'm not gonna like just the
Well, the
death.
games give you a move list now. It tells you right in the fucking menu how to do all the moves now. Back in the day, they didn't give you that shit. You had to figure
No,
it out.
yeah, you figure out. You go to the magazine, or if you're lucky to have the internet, you know.
Well, in the early 90s when Mortal Kombat first started coming out, the
Yeah,
first few games, there was no internet. So you either had to rely on a friend that knew or
yeah,
one of the video game magazines that might have printed it in their freaking issues.
but I'm hungry. I hadn't ate anything, so I'm gonna kick off. I appreciate you coming by. You want to promote anything? I know you said you're going to stream.
I am streaming tonight. I don't know exactly offhand. I'm probably going to do. There's a Pokemon ROM hack I've been playing called Scorched Silver. I'm probably going to play more of that tonight because I'm almost done with it. So
Hmm.
I'll probably play that tonight and maybe finish it tonight. I don't know yet. I might not finish it, but I'm definitely going to play it tonight. I've been playing Doom, the original Doom from the '90s, for the first time. Having fun with it, but at the same time getting quite frustrated.
For the first time.
Yes,
No shit.
yeah, never played the original Doom
That's
or
that's
the
most.
original Doom games, I should say. The first
That's
game
what.
I played was the reboot that was in 2016.
That's shocking. But I mean, I am what about? How old are you?
35, 30. Well, 35 in 18 days.
So I'm like 7 years older. So I mean, I played the original Doom on PC when I was in middle school. So and then after that, playing Doom at home. But God, love playing Doom 1 and 2. Uh, actually, I came across Doom 64 uh, on physical copy on the Switch. I'm thinking about picking that up
Yeah,
because,
all of them right now are on Game Pass. That's why I decided to finally play them.
well, I enjoyed Doom 2 better than Doom 1, but I'm shocked that they're doing those two and they don't have. They had Final Doom and Ultimate Doom. So I'm shocked they don't have those versions out as well. But if that's it, I'm ready to get out of here.
Yeah,
So
I'm ready to get out of here too because AEW is actually on, so I'm not gonna watch it later.
yeah.
I'm gonna set up my stream and whatnot, so I'll be live in probably about 2 hours.
All right. So thanks for coming on, and thank you everyone that came by. And we are out, skis. You guys have a good day. See you guys.
Laters.